morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce this session resource person Dr. K. Winston sir. Dr. K. Winston sir has done his masters at Anna University and has received his PhD in computer science and engineering from Anna University. And he has 10 years of teaching experience and 4 years of research excellence. And Saul is acting as a reviewer for 8 international journals, and he had published 7 international journals, and he has presented his work at 15 international conferences. Saul has published a book, a personalized information retrieval systems using computational intelligence techniques. With this introduction, I'm requesting Dr. K. Winston sir to take on the session. Sir, please take on the session, sir.
Yes. Dilip sir, for your introduction. Thanks all the organizers. Yes. So it's a good noon to all of you. Let's get started. So in this part, I'll be do certain things in an automatic manner. First, let's talk about what web scraping is. Before getting into the talk, this is the outline of the talk. I'll be giving you some basic definition and the process behind web scraping, and then let's look at various potential application areas of web scraping, and then let's see what information extraction and what is the role of web scraping in the process of information extraction. And then there is a beautiful package available in Python called Scrapy. We can make use of this in order to automate this web scraping task. So there are few terminologies in web scenario which can be interchangeably used. One is crawling. We use the term crawler very frequently in the web domain, particularly in order to collect information from various websites or various web servers in order to build an index for a web search engine. So generally every web search will have a lot of crawlers running 24/7 on various web servers, and it will be keep updating the index. And then as long as index is up to date, then search engine can essentially provide most relevant as well as most meaningful and correct information can be provided to the users. Okay, so crawling is a major task in any web search engine, and generally crawling will start from a seed page, and it will generally start from a set of seed pages, and then it will be navigating based on the hyperlink structure, and it will be updating the index. And this process will be ever-ending task. It will be keep happening. And the generic version of crawler will just give the details like URL of the page, and then some basic gist about, or we call it snippet. So the snippet of every URL will be returned by this crawler, and crawler is also can be thought of a robot which is a lightweight bot which will be moving from one server to another server to update the index. But there is something called as a focused version of crawler. For example, this focused version of crawler will generally be domain specific. For example, if we want to design a crawler to build the index for only legal documents. So if we just consider only legal domain, we generally start with some seed pages from the legal domain. But then from those seed pages also, if you want to follow only some selected links, then you can code it that into this crawler logic. Okay? So that if you want to download pages from particular websites, then you can use the focused version of crawler called focused crawling. Okay. And one more thing, if you want to download pages only from a particular website, or if you want to if you want to download, or if you want to extract some structured information from web documents, then the crawling will fail. So because the main intention of having crawler is just to update the index with the recent URL and the snippet of the URL. Okay, so thereby the index can be built. So crawler will not be fetching a lot of important data, like the data, if it is in the form of structured data, will not be generally fetched by the crawler. So in such case, crawler generally fails. Okay. So because crawler generally depends on linkage structure of World Wide Web. So crawling basically says that so generally crawling generally depends on linkage structure of web. So crawling basically starts from a set of seed pages, and then it gets more pages only if they are linked from the seed pages. So as long as the pages are linked from the seed pages, all those links will be extracted. Okay. For example, if there is no link to a document which is related to the selected domain, then so those pages will not be explored by crawler. Okay. So now the idea is if you want to get pages from a particular website, and let's say they are not linked from anywhere, so there is a web page which are not linked from anywhere. So if you still want to extract information from such source, then this web scraping will help us. So this web scraping can also be termed as web harvesting or web data extraction. So this is generally used for extracting data from websites. So particularly extracting structured data from the unstructured or semi-structured web. So web scraping is a web page involves fetching it and then extracting from it. So it will fetching web page is a task carried out by the crawler generally, and extracting from the selected web page the structured information, and extracting structured information from it is what the major role played by web scraping. So this web scraping may generally do certain tasks internally in order to extract the structured information from the web content. So the content of a page may be parsed, and it may be searched, and it may be reformatted, and it's data generally copied into a form of Excel sheets. We call it spreadsheet, and whichever form we want to copy it, we want to store it, we can store it. So for example, if we want to find and copy names and phone numbers to a list, let's say we want to extract the contact details. So we call this task as contact scraping. For example, given a website, if you want to just copy only the names and contact details of the person, then we can design a customized web scraping. Okay, so generally when we talk about web scraping, so it does more deeper processing of a web page than a typical crawler. So the typical crawler is just downloads the page, and it does certain parsing process, but it just parses only the URL. Okay, so but we want to extract some useful information that we want to store, and then we want to use it for various other purposes. So in that case, the generic crawler will fail. Okay, so when we do this web scraping, so it will become clearer. So the target will be very clearer. So the idea is that we want to do much deeper analysis of the web page, and we want to get various kinds of fields to be saved into Excel sheets or into a database tables. Okay? So all these are possible with scraping. So the web scrapers typically take something out of a page, so to make use of it for another purpose somewhere else. So just by web scraping itself, the task doesn't get completed. We do web scraping for various other tasks, so which are going to be explored through these listed applications of web scraping. Okay. So now there are a whole bunch of applications of web scraping. So let's go through them one by one. At least let's look at in detail about at least a few of the applications listed here. So the first application shown in this slide is scraping movie rating data to create movie recommendation engine. So here, if you look at this point, it has 2 points. So we can use web scraper to extract movie want to rate the DB. So okay, of course, is there any problem in the link?
Link is no problem, sir. I think network is problem.
You're not. My voice is not clear.
Yes, now your voice is clear, sir.
Okay.
Now your voice is
I'll
clear.
hold
At the
my
time of last 2 to 3 minutes, the voice is breaking.
Okay. Yeah. Let me check it out. Hope. Let me continue now. Yeah. Okay. So if we want to extract movie review data from databases like IMDb, and if you want to implement movie recommendation engines, of course we need data from the portals like IMDb. Okay. Of course, generally, IMDb provides a dump. IMDb generally provides a data set for the databases available public, so that others can download it and use it. Okay. If IMDb does not provide us a dump, then we need to design a web scraper, the IMDb portal. But generally, IMDb does provide you a dump with the ratings as well. But let's consider some other websites like Zomato, okay? So which generally do not provide us a dump. Okay. And we want to get, for example, if we want to get restaurant ratings from Zomato for various restaurants, then we need to design okay. So we cannot okay. So there may be thousands of reviews written on a restaurant, and there may be thousands of restaurants. So Zomato contains all those details, and extracting review details, reviews written by various users manually one by one, it may not be a good choice. Okay. So where we can write an automated program, which does relying on and the second task is the scraping text based systems from the given text. So if you want to recognize a topic from the Wikipedia documents, then we need to extract data from Wikipedia. Okay. So we can build some NLP based systems. Right. Okay. So even in this case, we do and then scraping labeled image data from websites for image classification models in order to train image classification models. So in fact, for training a whole bunch of models, we need some sort of labeled data. So oftentimes such kind of label data is available on these websites, in the form of user generated content. Okay. So that's why scraping becomes important, if you want to train some machine learning model on data available on websites. And then scraping data from social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, for performing tasks like sentiment analysis, opinion mining, and so on. Okay. And generally, yeah, Facebook and Twitter provides, so Twitter generally provides API in order to download data from Twitter. There are certain restrictions, and but we can download live data from Twitter. So they provide API. But if they don't provide API, then we need some strategy to gather information from social media. Okay, in that respect, web scraping will help us. And then generally there are different ways of downloading data from the web. So first one is we can do crawling. So first thing is we can do crawling to gather information from the web, and the second thing is we can make use of APIs. So if the API must be provided by the website, so only then we'll be able to download it using API. And then the third way of gathering information from web is by using scraping. So of course, we can also do the data extraction from web manually, but that can't be the best choice. Okay, so we can also do it manually. But among these, if API is provided well, we can go with APIs in order to gather information. And crawler will not be full-fledged, and it may not meet the goal properly. Okay, because it has a lot of restrictions. Because the objective of crawler is very, very limited. So it is not just meant for gathering structured information. It is just meant for building the web search engine's index. So in order to build, or in order to update the web search engine index, no, they just require only the URL, the up-to-date URL, and then the gist about the URL. Okay. But particularly if you want to do some machine learning applications on any data, then we may have a format. We may have a desired format of data which can be well collected through this scraping task. And then of course we can do it manually, but it will be definitely time consuming, and which cannot be practiced. And then the scraping user reviews and feedbacks from e-commerce sites like Amazon, Flipkart, etc. Okay, so if you want to know about the positivity and negativity of user reviews, so of course we can write a web scraper to collect data from Amazon, Flipkart, and so on. So through which we can do some sort of the product reviews. Okay. And the competitors can also make use of such system in order to gather reviews about a particular product, and they can see what is best and what is good and bad about a product. And then this web scraping can be used for web index building, web index updating, and so on, and then few other web mining and data mining tasks. And then coming to this online price change monitoring and price comparison. No, this is a very generic terminology which can be seen in the flights domain, and then it can be seen in currency exchange domain, and so on. So a lot of these such websites are generally called aggregator websites. For example, a lot of these aggregator websites needs to scrap data from other websites. For example, if you go to makemytrip.com, this Make My Trip generally gathers information from many of the websites. Okay. Or even if you take Google Flights as an example, if you go there, their websites are actually going to get their information from other websites, so which hosts information online. So we call this type of applications as mashup, web mashup applications. So they do not generate any information, but they gather information from other websites. Okay. So we call these websites as aggregator websites. So in order to maintain aggregator websites, then the major task which must be carried out is going to be this web scraping. Okay. So and then if you want to gather real estate listings, Again, such applications are going to gather information from multiple sources, and then weather data monitoring, website change detection, and tracking online presence and reputation, and web mashups. If you want to integrate data from multiple websites, these are the major applications where web scraping is widely applied. And moreover, since this scrapping is done automatically, so no human intervention is required. No human effort is just required in order to code the logic, or know what type of data and how and where it should be stored. So we need to just feed all these basic informations, while writing scrapper. So that is all enough, and scraper will do the rest. So coming to this information extraction. So generally, the term information extraction is defined as extracting structured information from either semi-structured or unstructured documents. So generally, web is considered semi-structured as well as unstructured sometimes. Generally we use crawler, so we'll gather the information from the web, the raw data. You can think of the HTML representation of any web page could be retrieved by crawler, and then whatever data collected by crawler is given to information extraction system, which completely rely on uh, scraping scraping. And then the data, the unstructured data from these various websites could be transformed into a structured data like this. For example, if you see Wikipedia page, you could see a lot of data which are represented in terms of tables. For example, if you want to see the list of presidents of India, definitely you will find a table in the corresponding Wikipedia page. And if you just simply download, if you just use crawler to download such Wikipedia page, you will get the data in terms of HTML document. Okay, so which needs to be pre-processed to the depth. But this scraping will extract only the data which is in the form of table, and it can be straight away taken, and you can put it either in the form of a spreadsheet, or you can put it straight away into the database. So here in this information extraction domain, this scraping is widely used. And since we are talking about extracting data from semi-structured and unstructured domain, unstructured documents, then that's why we here the focus is given more on web scraping. And coming to implementation. So coming to implementation, there is a Python framework available for web scraping. So which will do this RPA activity with the help of Scrappy. Okay. So Scrappy is a Python framework, to perform large scale web scraping. So it gives all the tools, in order to efficiently extract data from various websites. And then so we will use Scrappy in this session. And so meanwhile, let me also introduce you a Chrome plugin called Selector Gadget. So if you have, for example, you must have a Selector Gadget on your Chrome browser, so which will simplify a whole lot of other stuffs. Okay, so thereby you can write Scrapper in a more meaningful way. Okay, so that lot of activities can be automated. Okay, and then okay, so anyhow, before getting into what the Selector Gadget plugin is all about, you must install this library into your Python environment first. Okay, I will be showing you demo in a Windows platform using Anaconda Navigator, and most of the hands-on will be done on the command line. So before after opening your Anaconda Navigator, you're supposed to get into this Anaconda prompt and then type in this command. So if you have not installed this Scrapy, and you can install it through this command. Okay, so I have done this to install Scrapy in my machine, and it took about 3 to 4 minutes of time to complete its installation. And then when we install this, it will also install a few other related libraries as well. So we need not bother about it, and you just allow it to download and install all the related packages as well. Because somewhere during the installation of this Scrapy library, and you will have to you will be getting a question where you supposed to provide yes as the answer to the question. So only then it will continue downloading as well as installation. Okay, and then so in this particular session, no, we will see the usage of Scrapy, no, in order to basically create a bot in order to extract things automatically um, from um, um, from a blog called Reddit. Okay, let me just no, get into this Reddit page and show you what data are we going to extract. So I have already opened this blog, and here I have just taken a theme on Game of Thrones, no, which is a thriller television serial, and a popular in US, I guess. There are a lot of comments written on this Game of Thrones, so I have just taken this page as an example. And if you see this, this is also a kind of social media blog. Okay, where you find lot of comments written by various people. And here if you observe the data, if you look at the raw data of this page, which is completely unstructured or semi-structured rather, but here let's say there are some meaningful information which can be extracted automatically, thereby we can do a lot of analytics offline. For example, if you just look at one post, written by, let's say, a person called House Stark, which is shown here. So this person has written this a blog about 4 hours ago, and then this is the heading or the title given for this post by this user. And then this post comes along with the number of comments. So it comes along with number of comments, and then how many times it is shared, and so on. Okay, so these are some of the details which we want to extract by writing web scraper in Python by using Scrapy to automate this task, because certainly we cannot do this in an automatic, we cannot do it manually, because there are lots of reviews, lots of blog posts here, so which we cannot manually download. Yeah, and then there is one more column here which is I think it's a kind of likes. So how many have liked this post. So that is what this number is, and this number shows the number of comments written on this post. Okay, so we will be writing, as part of this hands-on session, we will be writing a scraper which extract data from this particularly this one Reddit page. Okay, so later as an homework, you can try out giving more than one seed pages, and you can see how the scraping works. So we are just going to scrape just this page alone on this great Game of Thrones, and we'll try to extract a few things out of this page, and let's see. Okay. And then, so coming to this Scrapy, so we need to first install this, and then once installation is done, then we can create a project, and this is the syntax which we supposed to follow in order to create a Scrapy project. Okay. Let me do it. I have already opened Anaconda prompt here. So you need not open Anaconda Navigator, and you just open up this Anaconda prompt. So this is all enough no, to work with Scrapy. Okay. So first, let's start a new project. Scrapy start project. So, and then you can specify what is the name which you wish to provide. So here I have given a name, simple bot, and let me just name it. I think this bot may be already available in my machine. Let me better give a different name. Let me say, the name of the bot is welcome bot here. You enter, and you should be able to see this. Okay, so it is saying that you can now start with your first spider, and spider can also be termed as crawler, and which can in turn be called as scraper, and which can in turn be called as bot. So there are different names for but all these terminologies can be interchangeably used, as I told you before. And now now if you see, yes, I think I have created this in my desktop. So I can go to desktop, and I can see that there is a folder created with the name welcome bot. So if you open up, you find there is a directory again with the name welcome bot, which contains a lot of related Python files, and then there is a configuration file for this scraping. So this is what all gets created just by running this single command. Okay. And then after this, you should be able to see a directory in the specified path. Since I have created this project, Scrapy project in desktop, I got a new directory there. And then on this, we'll be making appropriate updates to design a full-fledged scraper. Now, for the sake of demo, let me straight away show you the one which I have already implemented. So now you will have to write this code, this Python file inside. There is a folder called spider. Say for example, let me go back to my welcome bot. If you open up this, then you see there is a subfolder called spider, and then inside this you just find a single file here, and you can add a bot or the spider code or the scraper code inside this folder, which can be later executed. Okay. Now, so this is the one which I am going to write it inside this codes underscore spider.py. So let me straight away take the code, and I'll later I'll tell you the meaning of this code line by line. So I have already created this simple bot, or better, let me just run the same thing for you. Yes. So after creating a project, then we will get this folder here. When I created this simple bot, I specified this as my path. So the bot was created here with the appropriate files, and then this file was created by me. And then coming to this spider, so there will be these two files at the time of creating a project. And now coming to this file, let me just open up then notepad++. So here this is the code which I have written. So this template will be provided by scraper. For example, it will just provide this import statement and then this class definition. But depends on your requirement, you will have to write the various functions. Okay, so these functions are already available in this scrapey.spider class, which you need to override here. Okay, say for example, if you have come across Python programming language, so Python is an object-oriented programming, and here everything is going to be written in terms of a class. So here there is a class called code spider. Okay? There is a class called code spider, and then this class is going to be extended from scrapey.spider class. So there is an inheritance takes place here, and then you can specify the name for this particular bot, because for every bot which is implemented using scrapey will have a name. Okay, you can set name this way, and then there is a function here, there is a method here with the name start requests, which does not take any argument. Okay, so any function which is implemented inside a class will have this self argument, and don't worry about it. Okay, whenever you define a method inside a class, and you will have to have this self argument. Okay, even when a method do not take any argument, there must be the self keyword. Okay, which is almost similar to this keyword in C++ and Java. Right. So these are the URLs which I am going to from which I am going to extract information. Okay. So before running this bot, let me just open this link and show you what are the contents there. So if you see this, this is a website which contains a lot of quotes. Okay, which means in this current page there are about 10 quotes, I guess. So let's just extract it and see how many quotes are present. Okay, similarly this bot also takes one more URL which has another set of few quotes. So these are two URLs which from which we are going to, this bot is going to extract the content. Okay, and then for each URL, for URL in URL, so one by one, because this we call list in Python. So list contains, you can specify any number of URLs which you want to extract. Okay, information from here. Just for example, I have just listed only two URLs here, and then for each URL, then you are going to get the yield by this statement. Okay, so scrapey.request. So the internet connection must be available when you run this bot. Okay, because it is going to look for these web pages over internet. Okay, so then for each of those URL specified in this list, for each URL the content will be downloaded. So that is what this yield statement is all about. Right. So it is going to fetch the data from the URL. So that is the yield statement, and then there will be a method called parse. So which will be by default present inside this class at the time of creating a at the time of at the time when you at the time you write logic for this scraper. Okay, there is a parse method which takes a response. So which takes a response, and response will generally contain the content of the web pages. Okay, response will generally contain the content of the web page, and then we are going to split it based on let's say some filtering term no slash here. Okay, so based on this we are going to split the URL. So if you observe this, so this entire URL is going to be split based on this slash, and then from the appropriate page we are going to read the content. Okay, and then for every URL we are going to even create a file. So after running this bot, you will see that two additional files gets created here, which are HTML files. So for each document you read, you are going to store it in local machine, and then from there you are going to prepare the formatted output, and then you open up the file stored. You first download the web page, and then you open up the file, and then you read the body of the document. And here is where you can essentially format your output. For example, if you try to scrape content from this, we are definitely interested in the quote along with the author who has written this quote. So the rest of the URLs which are going out of this web page is not so important for us. So we are interested in only the quote and the author. So that makes sense, coming to this particular web page. So you can write code appropriately here, in order to get the required structured data from this web page. Okay, so let me show you the execution of this bot. Okay, so after creating a scraper bot, what I have done is I have added this additional program into the folder. Okay? So which you need to add. So this essentially carries the actual logic of the scraper. So now after adding it inside this particular folder, so after adding the code, the actual logic inside this spider folder, which is present inside simple bot, further inside the simple bot. This is the folder in which I created my project. So it will be created with the subfolder simple bot, and inside which you will find a spider. So here is where you're supposed to provide this implementation. And then after that, go into that folder. Let me just go into that folder through Anaconda prompt. For example, let me just get into the place where I have created this bot. So it is in F:. Yes, so go to the simple bot. Go to simple bot, and you can see, so what are the files which are created, and there is a folder simple bot, and there is a configuration file, and this is the file which we have added. Okay. And then okay, so this makes no sense. I know if you what I'm showing here, this codes_spider.py, the Python file must be put inside spider directory. So it must be placed inside this spiders directory. Okay. And then, so once it is done, once you have written logic for the scraper, you can now crawl the content from this pages. And if you observe this code, here I have specified the name of the bot as quotes. So that's the reason why I'm using quotes here. Okay? And this is the command in order to start executing scraper. And this is the name of the scraper. You can assign any name for this. And now I'm going to use the command scraper crawl, then the name of the bot, which is quotes.
Sir, Venin sir, sir,
yes.
voice is very low. Please continue. Voice is low, sir.
Okay.
Now it's okay, sir.
Okay. I think I need to keep my earphone. Hope it is clear now.
Yes, thank you, Professor.
Yeah. Okay, Dilip. Yes. Now, you see that it does a lot of internal stuff in order to extract data from the specified URL. Okay, and then after this step, if you come back to this simple bot, and you will be seeing that there are 2 web pages downloaded. Okay, so this with this simple example, I'm just trying to show you the scraper can also do the job of crawler. Okay, so in the next demo, we will do even more deeper extraction of data from the web page. Okay, now if you open up this, then you get, this is the format in which we have read the data, but the actual format in which this is a website is this. Okay, and this is the way how we have extracted data from the web page. Okay, there is a difference you are able to observe. Okay, so this is the page from the local machine, and this is the page from the website. So similarly, if this is done for the other file as well. So this is what the role of crawler in general, and as I told you before, and this scraper does much more than crawler. Okay, so it can also do the job of crawler, and it can do much more than that. Okay, like extraction of you can also format data, you can read data from this, you can process it, you can store it, and then you can do some analysis as well. But analysis part won't come under a scraper. So the scrapey library just will help us in order to extract data from the various web pages, and you can specify what is the format in which you want to download. Okay, and once the data is collected, then you can use it for many other purposes. So you can apply some sort of machine learning algorithms on top of it, and you can do some analysis over it. Okay, so the main aim of this scraping task is just to collect formatted and structured data from the web. And there are few other libraries available in Python. There is one more library called the Beautiful Soup, which can also be used in order to extract structured data from unstructured source.
Sir, in chart
Yes.
part, one question is there. Only data collection
Okay.
is there. What about parsing
Yes.
or TTS?
Yeah. 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 What do you mean by TTS?
Bharat Kumar sir, what is meant by TTS?
Do you mean transformation? Text to speech. Okay. So we do parsing while collecting data. For example, when you collect the data in the form of HTML, then you will have to parse it, right? You can think of HTML parsing. So the parsing, I mean here, which will ignore or which will eliminate all the HTML tags, because HTML tags do not carry any valuable information. The data which are enclosed within HTML tags are meaningful. So we will do parsing in order to avoid HTML tags, so that we will get the data, and you can put it in a spreadsheet or you can store it in a table. Okay, and the text to speech and speech to text, for example, these are the applications for which, if you want to collect data from web sources, you can use a scraper. So you can use scrapey library available in Python. As such, you cannot implement text to speech or speech to text applications by using scrapey. So the purpose of scrapey library is just to gather information from websites. For example, if you want to design speech to text or text to speech applications, if you want to collect samples from samples from various regions. Okay, the way how we write English text may be different from the people from other countries. Every people, everyone from the various geographic area will have different writing style. But if you want to collect sample from multiple sources, you want to collect sample from hundreds of Indian websites, and if you want to gather information from hundreds of US websites, then you can make use of scraping just to collect data alone. So no additional analysis will be done. Only the deeper analysis can be written. The deeper code can be written in Scrapey just to collect more meaningful data. But as such, no actual analysis will not be applied. Cannot be applied with the help of the Scrapey package. Okay, I think you mean no application areas, for which if data required from web sources, you can collect it by using Scrapey. I hope I addressed your question. Okay, so after running this bot, we see that 2 pages are getting downloaded as per the format we have specified. So we still wanted to maintain. We didn't do any sort of detailed parsing here. We have done very nominal parsing, which does not have any complicated code here. Okay, we just read from the URL and we write it as such, with the same HTML format, but some additional texts are missing, like the style informations are missing in the document what we have downloaded or what we have saved in the specified directory. Okay, but if you look at the raw HTML raw web page, it looks so pleasant. Okay, so this looks so pleasant compared to the one what we have extracted. Because anyhow, if you want to analyze these codes, we will not do anything with the style information. So the style is completely lost. So this style is not found in this downloaded one. Okay, so even in this, there are a lot of HTML tags. If you want to see the actual HTML form of this document, you can just right click, select some text and right click, and then go to inspect, and this is what the actual website, this is the source code corresponding to this website. Again, no, this is the data what we essentially store inside, again in which there are a lot of HTML junk. So there are a lot of HTML tags in and around this document, and then these needs to be again parsed. So you will have to write a detailed code inside this parse method, so as to do complete parsing. Okay, and while parsing, you can also specify the source where the file must be stored. Not necessarily you need to keep it in terms of a HTML file or text file. You can also write the data into spreadsheet or database as well. So Scrapy supports all sort of implementation. Okay, so let's move on to the next implementation. So here in this case study, now I'm going to use Scrapy from Python, and this time I'm going to extract content from the Reddit blog, okay, which I have shown earlier. So there is a Reddit page here, and that too I have taken only this particular theme, Game of Thrones. So you can find a whole lot of topics here in this Reddit blog, and I've just considered only Game of Thrones here. So it's some sort of thriller serial, I guess, some television serial. This is online television serial, like Hotstar or things of that sort. We have, like, there is something called Behind Woods and all that. So Behind Woods are available for Tamil language. And there may be for Telugu. There may be other online channels. Okay, so this Game of Thrones is one such online uh, television serial. Okay, on which they invite a lot of blogs. So they encourage the people who watch to write a review or comment about this Game of Thrones. So that is what is all about this. So don't try to get the meaning out of these texts. The task here is just to download this text and see. Okay, no, not the real meaning of this. Those analysis can be done offline with the help of machine learning and other deep learning kind of stuff. So far we have done a lot of manual work and all that, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to make use of the Scrapy shell. Get into Scrapy shell. When you open up this Anaconda prompt, this is where you will be currently located. I think not even desktop. You will be, the prompt will be like this. Now, now go to the place where you want to maintain all your Scrapy projects. Okay, so in this slide, I have shown that all my web scraping projects are present inside this folder. So from there, I run this shell. So once you run this shell, if Scrapy is already installed, then you will get this prompt like this. Okay, let me do that here for you.
Sir, voice is very low, sir.
Yes. Yes, so let me get into the folder where I have maintained all my web scraping projects. This is a folder where I'm going to keep all my projects. So from this, I'm going to run this scrapy shell. So type scrapy and then followed by shell. So this command will take you to the scrapy shell. So in that scrapy shell, you can try some interactive commands. So for example, we use this idle interpreter for running Python scripts. There you need not necessarily store your program inside a file. Okay, so in the prompt you can run the valid Python statements. So similarly, you need not always make it as a separate program. You can also do it, but let me show you few examples by taking some making use of some important functions inside Scrapy library, Scrapy package. Yes, so that is what we get after running this command. And then, for example, I just want to fetch the content from this URL. I just want to fetch content from this URL. Let me straight away copy it. So fetch is a function available, and then you enclose the URL inside the double quotes. Okay. So as such, you can paste it here and then type enter. Now in this prompt, in this scrapy shell, this function will be recognized. Yes, so now you see that there is something called a spider opened. So generally, before commencing the scraping function, it starts spider because it needs to gather the web data first, and then it will apply. So on it will apply all the parsing things. Right now, it has been downloaded. Okay, so the spider has been opened, and then the page has been scrolled, and then the content has been now gotten through this command. Okay, then next we want to print what is read from this URL. Okay, right. So now I'm going to print what is read from this URL. So immediately after executing this fetch command, so what is going to happen internally is the content is going to be read from the specified URL, and then it is going to put the data in some internal memory. Okay, say for example, so it will first say spider is opened, and then so remember, crawler can also be called as a spider. Okay, and then scraper can also be called as spider in some senses. Okay, so it has fetched this particular content from the specified URL, and then the content is now made available in its memory. Okay, and then essentially now you can say print response.txt. So when you do that, the content will now be displayed here. Okay, so I have just shown part of the content here. Let us check it out by running this command here. Okay, so print of, so by default whatever stored in its memory will be printed through this response.txt. Okay, so remember, before doing this, before accessing response.txt, you must have executed fetch, because only when data is available in memory, it can be printed out. Okay. Right, so this is what the content which are being extracted from this Game of Thrones, and you see that the internal representation is HTML. So that's what this last few lines indicates. For example, just again, just click on any piece of data. So click on any piece of data, let's say some piece, and then right click and inspect. You will be able to see the raw HTML format here. This is what all is extracted and displayed here. Yeah, of course, this is what all being no fetched from the specified URL by the scrapie. And then um, yes, so a lot of data has been now fetched. So that's the entire large web page that we just scraped. Okay, so basically just fetched no, using scrapie. So scrapie has done this for us. Okay, so and then there is one more command in Linux called wget, which we can actually use. Instead of that, we can actually use fetch function, which is available as part of scrapie library, to gather data from web. Okay, and now what we want is, coming back to this you are this web page. Let me just close this. Right, so coming to this page, I want to extract a few things one by one. The first thing which we want to extract here is the title. Let's say, this is the title. So we want to extract the title, and then no, this is the title of the post, and then no, we want to extract the number of votes it has. So this part is actually vote. Vote can be thought of thought of likes in social media. Okay. So this number indicates the number of votes that this post has got so far, and then this part says the number of comments written on this post. So we want to receive, we want to get this number, the 25 must be extracted out of this web page. So the number of comments, and then we want to also extract one more thing called the time of post creation. So this post was created 5 hours ago. Okay, so like this, every post is going to maintain all these details, if it is applicable. For example, if there is no comment written on any post, it will be 0. And if the post is not liked by anyone, then the number of votes to that particular post will be 0. Anyhow, it will have some valid number. So these are certain things that we want to extract. So we want to extract title, and then number of votes, and then number of comments, and then the time of post creation. That is all we want to do now. That's the objective we have. So we can do this with the help of scrapie. Okay. And it is not just limited to only these 4 tasks. Okay, for example, if you look at this page, there are even images present in this web page. So you can also collect or extract image data also from the web page. Okay. But I will not be showing you because that may be taking a lot of time. So let me just to show you a few things, like few data of this kind can be extracted by using scrapie. And let's print the same. Okay, now if you want to know more about the web page, what you could do is you just select a piece of text from the web page and right click inspect. You will get the detail. Okay, now now no, we want to do some complicated stuff here, because we want to read these 4 types of data from the web page. So we want to do this automatically. We cannot do it manually. We want to do it automatically. So that's the reason why we say this web scraping as a task of RPA. Okay, because it's not being done manually. It is going to be done automatically by the bots. So we internally create bots. So bot will be carrying a certain logic in order to extract information from the given source. So generally source is going to be considered web page, and web page need not be just a single web page, and it can even take a seed web page, and it can also collect. Okay, so no, you can also specify a collection of websites, web pages, and then you can also specify no, if you want to still continue the same thing on all the outgoing links of the set of seed web pages, that is also possible. Okay, you can do all the thing, because as I told you before, the scraper also does crawling. Okay, that's why we can use these 2 terminologies interchangeably. But coming to exact definition, then scraper is quite different from the crawler. Okay, but in a general sense, we can say both are same. Yeah, but the crawler has lot of limitations. It does only few tasks repeatedly, but scraper can be customized even more deeper, right? So now coming to, there is something called as gadget selector gadget, so which I have already installed for Chrome. For example, if you use Firefox browser, then you will have to find out this selector gadget for Firefox. So depends on the web browser you use appropriately, you have the extension. Okay, so here I have got the Chrome extension for this selector gadget. After installation, after adding it to the Chrome browser, then you will get this icon here. Okay, so the beauty of this icon is, so what we really need to know, what we really get out of this selector gadget is, let's actually just let me just go to the browser. Yes, so let me not click anywhere, right? Let me just be here, and then no uh, let me select some piece of text, or let me just simply click on the selector gadget, click on it. Once you click on it, you get something called there is a bar gets popped off here, so which initially contains no valid path. Okay, it is just empty initially. Now the selected gadget has started off, and now what you want to do here is, we want to recognize the blocks from the given website. Say for example, as you hover over the web page, you are able to select different blocks in the entire web page. For example, when I keep cursor here, this block is selected. When I keep cursor here, this block is selected. When I keep cursor here, this block is selected. Similarly, as I move or as I hover over this web page, the different blocks are being selected. Okay, and all you need to do is to basically go to go to the correct block which you want to extract. Okay, and then click once. Say for example, as a first step, what we want to do here is, we want to extract the title of every blog post from this Game of Thrones page in reddit.com. Okay, that is the first task we have in hand. So now since we are interested to extract this title of the blog, just click on it, just make a left click, then that particular block will be selected in red, and the text which is to be extracted is going to come in yellow color, sorry, green color, sorry. Okay, so if you notice now, selector gadget has very nicely picked up all the titles. If you just scroll down and see, I have just chosen only one title, especially from the first blog, that is not from the first blog, from the recent blog. Now if you come down, you see that all the titles are now selected. All that which are shown in yellow highlighted thing are all the titles of the various posts. If you scroll down, and these are some of the titles which are being selected. Just to select the recent title, the recent the blog title, then rest of the thing will be automatically selected by this selector gadget. So that's the beauty of this selector gadget. Now after that, okay, so after selecting this heading, after selecting this title of this blog, you see that there is something gets comes here. Okay, so it basically gives us something called as some unreadable text here, right? So now don't worry about this, and just simply copy this, just simply copy this, and then keep it, and then you will have to paste it here. Okay, let me just okay, right. So I have already have some text file here. So these are the two commands which I have already executed. Now I have started off with scrape shell, and then I fetched content from the select specified document, and then I have printed the response. Okay, now I want to do something on this response. Okay, so what can I do? I need to first extract the title from the given web page. So the web page is already downloaded and which is available in the memory, which is referred by this response.txt. Now from this response, I want to gather not the entire web content. I want to gather only the title. So now by using this selector gadget, I have got some code which is this. So this code maybe keep changing. Don't worry. No, I just did this implementation this morning so that we don't find any change here. Probably if you try doing it probably today or tomorrow, after a few days, then definitely this code will be changing because the web designers changes this to avoid scraping being done. Okay, so scraping has some hurdles this way. Okay, a website can even protect scraping to be done. So similarly, the crawling can also be protected. But anyhow, if crawling cannot be protected, if crawling is protected, then the web pages will not get higher rank, or it will not get any weightage when user searches for the website. Okay, but coming to scraping, so since scraping is done for the specified task in hand. For example, as I have shown in the earlier slide, in applications of web scraping, so scraping can be done to get to know the competitions in the market. So say for example, someone has introduced a new product, but the one who introduces a new product wants to know what are the existing products available in either Amazon or Flipkart. So they can write a scraper to gather all the relevant products from the Amazon. So thereby they can do an analysis of what are the products available, and they can also even gather all the reviews about various products. So thereby they can they can have their marketing strategy. Okay, so but this has some business purpose, so that there are websites which will always prevent scraping being done by introducing or by changing this this CSS object time to time or very frequently. Okay, so now we are going to make use of this function response.css. Okay, so this is a function that the Scrappy library has, so as to parse this particular CSS element. So every CSS element, if you are comfortable with web programming, particularly the CSS, then CSS is generally used for, CSS stands for cascading style sheet. So this adds some style to the HTML element. But this style will be common for almost all similar HTML elements. So we are making use of this CSS element in order to figure out for example, if this CSS element is given for all the title, then this will be uniform for all the title, right? This element will be uniform for all the title. Thereby let's keep this as key in order to extract only title portion from the given website, not from the website, because the website is already extracted, fetched, and it is available in this response.txt. And on this response.txt, let's make use of this CSS element to figure out where and all the title text is scattered across in this particular response.txt. That is all what we are trying to do. So that's why just to prevent the scrapping to happen, this they change this frequently. That's why don't bother why it is not readable. It must not be readable. Okay, so no one should memorize this. That's the reason why they have this. Okay, so I think this has really very large element name, but if you see some other websites, then this will have some readable names as well. Okay, so since this website is used by public, then definitely there are chances that people will do scraping. But if you take some academic institution website, and no one will scrape any information, because there is nothing to be scraped and nothing to be analyzed. So in any academic university websites, so there I think you will find very meaningful name for the CSS element. But in this case, since it is a social media used by millions of people, so they want to avoid this scraping. So that's why it is this. So don't get confused because of this large unreadable name. Now we are going to do response.css, which is a function that Scrapy provides us, in order to parse the specified CSS element, and we basically just take this and we paste it here. Okay, since I have already pasted it here, I just pasted here. Okay, you just assume that I have pasted here. So when you do it at your end, you should also get the new element here. By the time when you practice this code, this ID may get changed. There are chances that it may get changed. So you will have to get a new ID of this element ID. Use this plugin. Command prompt. What? Let me just type in this command. Let me just type in this command in the Scrappy shell. Okay, so titles is a variable name equal to response.css of. From this response.text, I want to focus, I want to extract all that which are enclosed within this particular CSS element. So that is the meaning. Okay, when you press enter, then you should be able to see only those elements which are having this particular CSS ID. Okay, as we have already verified through this selector gadget plugin, that all headings will generally have the similar style. That's why we are using it as using it for extracting only heading. Okay, now title. Let me just enter. Yes, now in titles. Yes, these are the titles. You can verify it, but it even comes along with the HTML junk. But don't worry. Okay, but it actually got most of the titles from the given web page Game of Thrones. Now if you read it, I think there are some pages, right? Only there are few number of pages here. There may be, yeah, there may be some sort of pages. If you want to go to the next page, if you want to see the older posts, then you may have to navigate to next pages and so on. Okay, if such restrictions are there, then you may not be able to get all the titles. Okay. Because these titles are being ever populated. Okay, at every time the new titles may keep coming. So that's the reason. So in this design, to prevent or to impose some sort of limitation on scraping, that's the reason why we just see only few titles here. So we are not getting all the titles from this from this Game of Thrones. We just only few. Okay, I think we can count it and see how many. There are 12, I guess. Yes, there are 12. Okay. Right, but let's now match it with this text. The first title as of now is just finished this embroidery based on sands or something, right? I think definitely it matches with this. And then the second one is this one. Do we get it? No. Yes, we get this, but we didn't get this. Okay, but we got this. And then next one is family portraits. Again, this is missing. I don't know whether I didn't select it. I think something also have been chosen here. You see that these are some of the errors which I have made while choosing the title. See that these are also yellow in color, which are selected already. Okay, so what we need to do is we must ignore all this. So these must be ignored. Let me ignore it, and if you want to ignore it, just keep your cursor over this element and then press. So it will now be not chosen. Or let us clear it and let me do it again. So it chooses even this. So now it is not chosen. See, these are not chosen now. And now one more thing. These are some of the practical issues that you will come across when you use selector gadget. Okay, see that I have chosen first post, but in the last case, all the titles have been chosen along with the side titles as well. Okay, but now I want to get rid of these subtitles, so which does not carry any meaning, which are not really any title of any blog post, right? I want to get rid of these. So now I just I kept my cursor on this thing which was red in color, then I clicked on it, then it went off, right? Now only one title is chosen. Now if you want to choose only other titles, then what you could do is you go to the second title and even click on it. Probably now you see that the other side titles are not chosen, but all these titles are chosen. Okay, whatever is in yellow color are all now titles and which are chosen. Now let me make use of this key now, this CSS element now, and let me put it here and let me try doing it. Okay, now this time it looks much bigger because it comprises more than one element, it seems. Okay, now let me again come back and let me redo, and this time I'm not going to use this element, I'm going to use the other element. Now again try doing it. This time it does better, I think, but the number of titles are less. But let's just verify. Has just finished is the first one, and then why does everyone hate is the second one, and then family portraits is the third one. Still few things are missing, and to get rid of it you just go and choose the other things as well, one by one. Okay, like the way if you choose first a few titles, then it will by default automatically choose other titles as well, and then it will give you as accurate parsing as possible. Okay, so that's about, anyhow, we are just able to see few titles. Of course there will be some restrictions, so that's the reason why the number of titles are not so large as you see from the original website. Okay, then now let me do the next activity now. Yeah, so the next one is, yes, this is what all I have done now, and let me do the same thing for number of votes it has. So I'm going to repeat the same thing. First go to the web page, and before choosing the number of votes or the number of likes here, you just clear this. Don't forget to clear this. Just to clear this so that there will be no marking on any block. Now this is the portion, this is the block of this HTML page which we are interested in. Just click on it, and now verify that the other blocks are also chosen. 10. Right, so now see only this vote alone chosen. Now let me do it on this as well. Okay, so make sure that you click on this entire block, right? This is the block which you are interested in. But anyhow, during parsing we can get rid of all this upper arrow and down arrow. That may be like an icon which can be ignored very easily, but you will have to choose this entire block. Okay, right, so now I have chosen first two, and it chooses rest of the things. Right, now I got a new code here. Let me copy it, and then let me have it here. Sorry. Okay, so now I'm working on number of votes. So now I think there is no change because I have done it recently. So there is no change in this CSS element. So I can use it as such. Okay. Now again, go to this command prompt. No, and one more thing, we are doing it manually here. It may looks like we are doing it manually, but you need not do that. Okay. I'm just showing you the various functions provided by Scrapy in order to make things simple. Okay. I'm just showing you demo on few functions which are frequently used when you do scraping over web, when you do web scraping in general. Okay, but if you want to put it together, then the earlier demo will help you. So as per the earlier demo, you will have to create a project and then give appropriate implementation for parse function, and then you start the bot. Then bot will do everything automatic. Okay, you need a manual intervention may not be required, will not be required at all once you start the bot to do its execution. Okay, and these are some of the lines of code which we generally fed into bot. Okay, so see, if I show you entire picture, then it may be quite difficult to understand it. That's why I'm just taking it part by part and showing you. Okay, finally what we could do is we could put all these lines of code into a bundle inside a Python file, and then we can start a bot, so that bot will do all these things at a stretch, not just limited to only these four parts of data we want to extract. You can specify any kind of data. So any value or any data which you want to extract from the particular web page. Okay. Right now I'm interested in extracting only words. So let me just enter. Yes, words are extracted. Let me just print words. Again, it comes with lot of HTML junk as usual, but you will have to figure out where the word is. Probably my PPT will help you figure out where the word is present. No, I have chosen vote column, and then now see that somewhere here it is there. So the first entire first blocks vote is present here, which is not having any vote. That's why there is a dot here. And then the second blog post is having these many number of votes. So 342 is printed, and then 11 is printed, and it is being printed for few pages, few pages, and you will have to figure out somewhere here. Okay, so where it is. Somewhere after style color or something. It will be there, but you will have to figure out. I think by now some of you might have found, but I'm still struggling to find it out. But of course you can further do parsing. Okay, it is not parsing not done. So parsing is done up to some limited capability. Okay, you can even do even deeper parsing as well, so that you can extract the exact value. Probably I think this number might be the words, since the first one was nothing, so that's why it is showing 0 here. And then, or if you still want to figure it out, what you could do is you can just copy this text and you can put it in a notepad, and then you search for that number. You will definitely find it out. Okay, so here take this as reference, and this way you can figure out where. But this is the only value which we are interested in, but it shows a lot of HTML junks which needs to be further parsed. Okay, for all that parsing, Scrapy has a lot of functions which will help us do it efficiently. Right. So similarly, we can do it on time of post creation. Okay, similarly, just to clear this off, and then click on time at which this post was written. Right, it almost select all the timings. So you can again take this, and you can take this, and then you can pass it as an argument to this response.css. Again, this would not be changed. I'm sure. Okay, this is again same. Similarly, you can do it on command, so that I need not even copy and paste it. Let me straight away run this and show you, how the time information is fetched from the response.text. Okay, so right here you see that this post was written 5 hours ago, this was written 7 hours ago, 8 hours ago, and this was written 2 hours ago, this one was written 1 hour ago, and so on. Okay, and there will be no ordering on this data. There will be no ordering, because as and when a post gets a comment, then that will again be reshuffled. Okay, that whichever receives frequent comment will always be at the top of the page. Okay, that's why these are not in order. And similarly, this comment section, I want to just know how many comments are written for each post, so that I can use this. So you can get the CSS element by using a selector gadget, and then try to find it out. Okay, So here I think it must be visible, right? Here it is visible, right? So this particular post has got 2 comments, and this got 1 comment, this got 5 comment, and this one got 372 comments, and so on. Okay, and this one got 0 comment, and so on. This way you can interpret this. But anyhow, in the final in the production, we generally do even more stringent parsing, so as to get the more meaningful data from the web page. Thereby you can feed all that into a spreadsheet, so which can be, you can put it in the form of CSV file, and then it can be further used for any sort of analysis. Okay. So I think I have few more demonstrations to show you, but no, due to time limit, and I think with this I can I am going to conclude this session. Okay, yes, similarly we do it for comment. Yes, so this is the output which I got when I run it earlier, right? Then coming to a new project, say for example, whatever functions we have seen earlier, with which if you want to build a full-fledged automated scrapper, then you can essentially first create a project, as we have done in the first demo, where I have just shown how to download HTML pages from websites, in a raw format, right? I've just shown you how crawling can be done, how a page can be crawled, okay, with the help of scrapers. But here, you just start off with a project, and here I named it Reddit bot scrapper. You can give any name for this, and then once the project is designed, then you will get this folder created in the place where you have created this. And then if you open this further, you will get these 2 files. One is the Reddit bot scrapper, and then the other one is configuration file. And when you design it as a full-fledged scraper, then you will have to make some changes to the configuration files as well. For example, particularly if you want to if the format of the document, you may be fetching HTML pages, but you want to get the target format as a CSV file. So then you can make all such configuration settings inside this scrapy.cfg. Okay. Then again, like this is the file which got created, and then get into that, go to that particular directory what is created as a result of creating this project, and then by default you will see these 2 files exist. Okay, and now this is the content inside the scrapy.cfg. So by default you will see this. There is something called as default, which is set to Reddit bot scrapper.settings, and you can also change the existing settings, and if you want to add new settings, you are allowed to do that. Okay. Then okay, then it says the name of the project is Reddit bot scrapper. The name of the project is what shown here, which runs in this machine. Okay, that's okay. Now we have just to go. We have already gone into that particular folder, right? Reddit bot scrapper, and then now in this folder, what you could do is you will have to do this, right? So scrappy, and then GenSpider, then Reddit bot, and then followed by the seed page, which you want to explore. So that is what this scrapy GenSpider Reddit bot says. So this statement will essentially start the bot. Okay, so now okay, so here if you get into this folder, you will find a lot of files which are getting created. Okay, say for example, inside this Reddit bot scrapper directory, you will find a lot of other files, and then there are few directories as well. Spider, and there is a PyCatch directory, and so on. Okay, and then few other Python files. Then among all these files which are present, and this no inside this spider directory, you will find inside the spider directory you will find a file called redditbot.py. So this is the main Python file wherein you can write the code for the stringent parsing. If you want to do rigorous parsing there, now you can write a code here. Okay, right. So here again, this code will have a standard format. At the moment you create a parser, then this scraper, and it will have all these things, whatever you have passed. The allowed domain is this, because we are restricted only to this Reddit domain. And then the starting URL. No, we specify domain and URL both same, because we want to extract data content, the information only from one domain and one URL. Okay, but scraping can also be done on multiple domains as well. Now you can give it as a comma separated elements, because this allow domains and start URLs are entered in terms of a list. So you can have any number of elements inside this list. You can give any number of domains and any number of URLs. And then initially this parse method will be just having this parse, which means you can have this function, you can have this method even without any implementation, but you will have to implement it. So you can implement it this way. So whatever I have shown earlier, I am just I have written here. Okay, so this bot is going to do all the 4 tasks simultaneously. Okay, then what is the format in which we want to store? This is the format in which we want to store. For example, the output of these, the titles, words, time, and comments must be stored in terms of a dictionary, where the key is going to be title, and then the value is going to be the corresponding item 0, because we are doing it for all the elements, all the blog posts which are read by this bot. For every item, in this title, words, time, comments, we are going to construct a dictionary, and the dictionary is what going to be the final yield. Okay, but still, if you look at this, we have not done much pre-processing here. We have done all the we have put all that steps together, and we are generating data in terms of a dictionary, which can be used for further process. But you can also include some additional code, in order to save the content in terms of CSV format and so on. Okay, and then after all that is done, after this code is written inside this redditbot.py, then you can run the bot through this command. So scrapy space crawl space redditbot, and redditbot is the name of the bot, and with this command, bot will now start running. So similarly, I just thought of showing you demo on other scrapping example on shopclose.com. There I wish to gather informations like this. So the name of image of a product, name of a product, and price of the product, and then percent offer of a product for various categories. For every category of products, we'll have these 4 things common, right? So you can also try doing this, but in this case study, I thought of showing you how can we even extract image data from the pay e-commerce website like ShopClose. Okay, but with this, let me conclude, and if you have any questions, you can ask me now.
Participants, any queries?
I hope with this knowledge you will be able to at least design a simple bot which does some meaningful scraping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
My heartful thanks to the resource person, Professor K. Vinestan Garu, to share the valuable information for web scamming, hands-on the tools, in spite of his busy schedule. Thanking you, sir. It was a wonderful and interactive for the hands-on session. Thanking you very much, sir. We will have a break at 1 hour. Session will resume at 2:30 p.m. Yeah, Professor. Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, thank you, Dilip sir, and I thank all the participants for their patient listening. And then I thank the organizing team, and particularly Dr. Dilip sir for having extending the invitation to deliver a talk as part of this 5-day FDP. And
Yes.
thank you all.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. Thanking one
Thank you.
wonderful participant. We will resume at 2:30 p.m.